Last year, I made over $10 million just through email. And a lot of that had to do with the pop-up form. And pretty much with every brand I work with, this is one of the first things I'm looking to optimize are these big, beautiful pop-up forms that you see in front of you right now. Also, this is almost always the most underappreciated part of any ecom brand is the pop-up form when it comes to the marketing funnel. Your pop-up form matters so much. If email has horse and carriage, right? Your email being the carriage, your pop-up form is the horse that pulls the entire system. That's how I kind of think about it. Your pop-up form is integral because if you have 100,000 people or 10,000, you can do as many people that come to your site every month. Imagine if 15% of those people, so if it's 100,000, you have 15,000 people every month entering into your list, fresh people that can enter into your pre-purchase flows, your abandoned cart flows, your abandoned checkout, your post-purchase sequences, and then also beginning your campaigns. If you're actually sending campaigns every week, how many touch points that is, how many more touch points. You're spending all this money and energy to get people to your website from meta ads or UGC content creation. If you're not capturing them with a pop-up form, it's like, what's the point? Most brands have like 2 to 3% conversion rate because their pop-up form is just not performing. It's not optimized. So I'm going to go over in this video, how do we do it? How do we optimize the pop-up form to actually get people to enter their information? A lot of it is psychological. You basically have just a few milliseconds to get someone to react. And you almost always want to be optimizing for mobile. I know I have a lot of desktop examples right here, but mobile is where it matters, right? 95% of the time, people are going to be engaging on their phone. So that's really what we want to optimize for. But first, let's talk about some different types of forms. So the two main ones in 2026 that really convert and really perform well would be what I would consider a micro commit form, which is what you see in front of you here. And that is you just ask the offer, hey, do you want this offer? There's a claim now button, but there is no input box. And that is incredibly important because when people see that they're going to have to input their information into a form, they immediately click out of it. They're like, I don't want to do that. But if you just say, do you want $15? Do you want 15% off? Do you want whatever the discount is? And just say yes or no, or yes, hell yeah, heck yeah, claim now. Everyone's going to click that. Like, yeah, I want that. Then you enter the information one step at a time. That's very important. So first is email. Then you do SMS. I know it says email right here. It's supposed to be SMS. And then you say you're in. Check your inbox to get your code, or you can give it to them right in the pop-up form. Just give them the code. I recommend having them go to the welcome email lab, so you can get the deliverability rolling, and get the whole email system. You want them to get in the habit of checking their email for your brand. But a micro commit, that's very important. A way to further optimize a micro commit form is with the quiz format. The reason quizzes work so well is because you're essentially hitting the pain points that person is coming to your brand for. So for this brand, as you can see, it's a weight loss meal delivery brand. So it's like, hey, do you want to lose weight? Just improve your health, eat consciously or eat consistently rather, build lean muscle. They're about, oh yeah, hell yeah, I want to build lean muscle, of course. Click that. And then they have that commitment bias. They've committed. So they're going to enter their information. But if you just say, hey, here's 10% off, enter your email, like nobody's going to click that. Another thing worth mentioning here outside of the type of forms is the offer itself. So you see here, it talks about, or we were putting mystery discount. So you don't actually know what the discount is. I don't even remember what it is for these brands. It might be 10%, it might be 5%. It doesn't matter. For this brand right here, they actually run 5% off, right? If they said 5% off here, no one's clicking that. Who wants 5%? Like 5% is a terrible incentive when most brands are offering 15. But this form gets over 15% opt-ins. 15%. And this brand gets like 400,000 to 500,000 views on their website every single month, individual sessions. They get 15% opt-ins because they say mystery discount. They say mystery discount. They have a quiz format that asks what the person is coming for, and it's a micro commit. Combine those three things, recipe for success. Okay, mystery discount it invokes more curiosity. People want to see, they have to go and check their email. Like, what is it? I don't know. I got to check. That curiosity plays a big role into these millisecond decisions that people are making when the pop-up form first pops up on their website. So that's incredibly important. You'll also notice with all of these forms on desktop, for the most part, aside from this one, they're pretty big. They take up the majority of the screen. If you're going to have a pop-up form in the first place, which you should in 2026, and people expect that, it's not going to ruin their customer experience. It should take up pretty much the whole damn screen, right? Get in front of their face. You have a no thanks button here and an X up at the top. And if it's a beautiful pop-up form like this, these are made on Alia, which I'll touch on in a second. You can do the same thing on Klaviyo or in your email provider. Most of them have good pop-up form creators nowadays. Just make it a full page pop-up, right? Don't be worried about scaring the person off. If you're doing the things I'm talking about in this video, you have a good offer, right? You're asking good questions in a quiz pop-up. It's a micro commit, and you throw some decent imagery in there, right? It's actually going to increase conversion rate. Okay, it's going to make it more likely that someone ends up purchasing because it's a good offer. It looks good. It's not like visually disruptive. It's not like, ew, I don't want this. If it's off on the side, it's just kind of annoying. And like people are like, oh, what is that? Get away, push it away. But if it's actually right in front of them and they can see the benefit of it, they're more likely to buy, especially if there's the curiosity factor. They're like, oh, I want to see what my discount is. There we go. And then it's very important that you're also, like I was mentioning before, optimizing for mobile. So most of these softwares, that's pretty easy to do. It'll automatically do that for you, but just always make sure when you are checking that you load up the pop-up on your phone and not just on desktop. So many brands just see what it looks like on desktop, don't even think about it on mobile, and then are wondering why they had a low opt-in rate. It's like, bro, it looks terrible on the phone. Like the button is so small, they can't even click it. I don't have my phone next to me, but I was going to show you, like, it's so small, you can't click it with your thumb. It has to also appear visually appealing with big buttons and right up in your face on mobile. That's incredibly important. All right, so I'm going to pause it real quick. All right, I just wanted to pull up Alia because they have a great website. I use their software for a lot of the pop-ups I make for brands. You can also do this on Klaviyo, but they just have good examples on the website of high converting mobile pop-up variations. And you can see everything I just talked about is here. You got mystery discounts, you got quizzes. They're running a lot of quizzes, and these are for some of the top brands in the world right now. Other pop-up variations that work great. These spin to win, right? Invoke that curiosity factor. Ooh, what is it? Of course, it's going to be the same discount every single time, but that would get me. It's just it's gamifying the experience for the customer. So they're more interested. I'll pull up another example here. Let's go to Guanti. I think these guys have a scratch off variation. All right, here we go. I've loaded up the pop-ups. You can see here. So this is a big fashion brand. Try your luck, scratch below to see what you win. Like this is, I want to see what I win. I want to scratch this off and see what I win. Like this is such a more engaging pop-up. Obviously, it kind of depends on what type of brand you have. This won't work for every brand, but I'm gonna scratch it off. And of course, oh, mystery discount, double curiosity. Now I really got to see what I win. So I got to claim it and then put in my information. Oh, they got a quiz format after, put in my information, and then I'll get the welcome email. So high converting pop-ups, there you go. And now I'm just going to quickly run through an example of me actually creating one live in Klaviyo. So I just got an example account here. And the great thing now about a lot of these ESPs like Klaviyo is they have, with their sign-up forms, a lot of really good templates that you can use. So one of these is my favorite. I think it's this one. They're always switching it around. Here we go. This one is a really good one to start out with. So let me just choose the list, create form, and everything is taking a long time to load today. So, all right, here we go. So we have the desktop variation and the mobile variation. Obviously, this photo sucks, so we're gonna have to switch that around. But I will. There's a few things I'd want to do first. So one, how do we create a micro commit? So I'm just going to take this initial opt-in here and clone it, right? Clone step. And then we can rename this one, edit name to micro commit, rename step. So here you will delete this. And this is where we'll say, just do you want the discount? So for the case, this example, we can just use mystery discount. So do you want a mystery discount? Super simple. I actually like how big that text is right now. I don't think I need to make it any bigger. I do want to make it super high in contrast though. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do.
Let's make the text color itself red. That is not what I'm gonna do. There we go.
So do you want a mystery discount? Just so it pops out. And you can even individually or make the color different for the mystery discount part than the rest. Obviously, switch this around a little bit so it looks a little better. But in terms of the conversion principles, this is what matters. Do you want a mystery discount? I don't like the way that looks at all. So, yeah, sec. So I'm just going to roll with the black. I think that looks better here. Next thing I recommend is delete any other text other than the incentive or the offer. It's just unnecessary and people don't want to read it. And it's just distracting from the point you're trying to get across, which is the offer. So delete that. You don't need it in the first pop-up. So for the submit button, I want this to be something like, yes. I want the person to see that and you're like, yes, I absolutely do want mystery discount, right? As if you're stepping into the shoes of the customer. So that's how I want it. Like, yes, claim my discount, something like that. So we're going to, let's make this much bigger, 30, 40, 50. I'm also going to make this button bigger right here. So the button itself, go to 70 maybe. And I'll just add some spacing at the bottom. Maybe not quite as much. So that looks, you could definitely make that look a little bit better. But in terms of like that will convert better than probably 85, 90% of what most brands pop-up forms look like just based on how simple it is and how big that button is. And again, using mystery discount or something that incentivizes some curiosity or invokes curiosity along with the micro command. And let's just make this for Nike. So I'm just going to get a photo here real quick. All right, so I just found this photo from Nike. I'll just use Nike as an example here. I would recommend using a person, maybe smiling and doing something with their face. That tends, like humans tend to react a little bit better to other humans' faces, especially if it's, somewhat aesthetically pleasing. So let's let this load up. Again, taking forever to load. And I would almost always recommend not using Cladio's, whatever you call this. What would you call it? Their version of compressing or their recommendation to compress. I would always use img.com. The reason being is their compression usually drops the quality of the image quite a bit. And you don't want that. But it is a good idea to compress your pop-up form images because if you don't, it's going to take a long time for that image to load up. And I see this all the time as well. And that is absolutely going to affect conversions. So go to iloveimg.com, click select images. We're going to take this image that we just got from Nike. We're going to compress it down, let it do its thing. Usually it doesn't take too long. And you'll see here it's what file size it's saving from the original. So it saves 66%. So it's much smaller. And we're just going to replace it. Go back. Got the new one right here. And now I'll probably recommend the original. There we go. Because it's even smaller than what they could do by compressing it. Or it's already small enough, rather. There we go. So do you want a mystery discount? Yes. I think for Nike, we can even make this square instead of the rounded edges. So coming together. Another thing I recommend doing is with this X button in the top right. Instead of having an X button, having a no thanks button. I think that tends to perform a little bit better. And that's perfectly ethical. That's fine. People can find the no thanks. A lot of times people are just used to instinctively going to the corner to click the X. So to counteract that, we'll just make people read no thanks. So a way to hide this is just make the size 0. And then they can't see it. There you go. What we want to do here instead is add a block, a button. Where's the buttons here? Can't find, oh, there we go. Button. We're going to make this say no thanks, just like so. I'll probably make this a little bit smaller. We don't want it too big. We do want it there. We want the button background to be white. And then the text itself, we can make that black. We'll make this a little bit bigger. Okay. And then the padding, bring down to 0 and 0. I guess that one doesn't really. And then this one can be closed form. It already has it up there. So they click the no thanks, it'll close the form. There we go. Now we can go on to the next step here. So this is what it looks like on mobile, which is fine. This is what it looks like on desktop. And generally speaking, on mobile, you're not really gonna have room for an image anyways. So I think the way that Klaviyo has it set up right now is perfectly fine. All right, so I'm gonna clone this one more time. So what I ended up doing, just to make it easier, I just cloned this one because we already set up the way we want it to look. So I have it over here. And this time they actually do need the input box though to put in their information. So we're going to go to add blocks, email input, right? We'll change this. We'll probably drop this down, this size here, because we need to add a little bit more information. So claim discount. That looks perfect. And then claim, let's go. Claim your mystery discount. Claim your mystery discount. There we go. I think that's perfect. Maybe I will drop this spacing a little bit so it looks a little bit better. And then I think we can make this, no, it's fine. Fine as is. So we got step 1. Do you want a mystery discount? Yes or no thanks. The nice image looks good on mobile as well. And I know this looks super plain, but I'm telling you, this will perform better than like what most mobile pop-up forms look like, just because of how simple it is. All they're getting is the incentive and then the yes. They don't have to input information right away. There's no X button at the top right. They just click no thanks at the bottom, and then they enter their information. And then with this success page, I think the default is fine. I'll just add this image in there for continuity. SMS opt-in already set up with Klaviyo, so we can just go ahead and put in the photo here, upload that. There we go. And I'll just leave it right here. That's fine. 1 SMS only deals. That's perfectly fine. Just be wary if you do change that to finish claiming your discount or something like that. It might increase the amount of unsubscribes you get because people are just going to want to get that discount and then unsubscribe. But if you clarify that you get SMS only deals, I've found the unsubscribes aren't quite as high. Anyways, that's it for this video. I just wanted to go over what makes a high converting pop-up form. Hopefully you got some value from it. If you do have any questions, just let me know. Comments below and I'll help you out. Until next time, have a good one. Peace.